Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 1. Buddha's necklace by Samael Aun Weor. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 2. Chapter 1. The Infant Son. Beloved Gnostic brothers and sisters, tonight, as we celebrate with immense joy Christmas 1966, we need to study very deeply, and with a sense of urgency, the Christic mysteries. At dawn of the great cosmic day, the first Logos, the Father, said to the third Logos, the Holy Spirit, "Go, fertilize my wife, chaotic matter, the Great Mother, so that life will emerge." See what unfolds. When the Father had spoken, the third Logos bowed reverently. At that moment, creation dawned. The Cosmocreators, the army of builders of the aurora, the host of Elohim, the third Logos, worked in the 7 temples of chaos. 3 forces are indispensable to all creation: the positive force, the negative force, and the neutral force. In front of the altar of the temple, one of the Elohim was polarized into masculine form, positive, and another one into feminine form, negative. The choir of the Elohim on the main floor of the temple represented the neutral force. In this way, the order of these 3 forces was established in each of the 7 temples of primitive chaos. Divine man sang, divine woman sang, the choir of the Elohim sang, the whole liturgy of the 7 temples was sung, and the great word fertilized the womb of the great divine Mother. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The Word fertilized the waters of life, and the germinating universe emerged, radiant in the aurora. The Holy Spirit fertilized the Great Mother, and the Christ was born. The second Logos is always the son of the Virgin Mother. She is always a virgin before, during, and after childbirth. She is Mary, Isis, Isilberta, Rhea, Cybele, etc. She is primitive chaos, primordial substance, the raw material of the great work. The cosmic Christ is the army of the great Word. He is always born in all the worlds and is crucified in each of them in order that all beings might have life and have it more abundantly. My brothers and sisters, observe the King of Stars in his elliptical orbit, as he travels from south to north and back again. When he travels to the north, we celebrate the birth of the infant Son. He is born on December 24th at midnight in order to dawn on December 25th. If the Christ Son did not move northwards, the whole earth would become a huge piece of ice and all life would perish. The Sun God, however, is advanced northwards on December 24th to animate and give heat and life to all creatures. The infant Son is born on December 24th in order to dawn on December 25th. He crucifies himself at the spring equinox to give life to all that exists. The fixed date of his birth and the variable date of his death have a profound significance in all religious theologies. In the northern regions of our world, in winter, there are long hours of darkness and few hours of light. On one of those very long nights, the child of the sun was born, frail and helpless, in this humble stable, our world. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 3. The sign of the Celestial Virgin rises on the horizon at Christmas, and it is then that the child is born to save the world. The Christ Son, in his childhood, is surrounded by dangers, and the kingdom of darkness lasts longer than as of light in the beginning. But he lives despite all the dangers that threaten him. Time passes, the days become cruelly longer, and the spring equinox arrives. This is Holy Week, the moment of crossing from one extreme to another, the moment of the Lord's crucifixion in this world. The Christ Son crucifies himself on planet Earth to give life to all that exists. After his death, he resurrects in all creation, ripening the grapes in the grain. The law of the Logos is sacrifice. This is the cosmic drama that is repeated from moment to moment in all infinite space, in all worlds, in all suns. This is the cosmic drama that is represented in all the temples of Egypt, Greece, India, Mexico, etc. This is the cosmic drama that is represented in all the temples of all the worlds of infinite space. The secondary aspect of this great drama has its parallel in the life of any high initiate, who, by a revolution of consciousness, obtains the Gnostic initiation and becomes a solar hero. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 4. Chapter 2. The Milky Way. Christmas is a solar festival, an ineffable cosmic festival with its origin in the mysterious night of the centuries. The three-dimensional physical sun is only the medium through which the spiritual sun acts. The physical sun meets the mystical sun, the son of midnight, the star of Bethlehem, the cosmic Christ. All ancient religions paid homage to the sun. Even the Vatican is constructed so that its doors open towards the east, towards the rising sun. The early Christians always repeated, with great devotion, "Our Lord Jesus Christ, the Sun." It is amazing how this solar king travels among the innumerable stars of infinite space, with a velocity of 20 kilometers per second in relation to its closest neighbors. In the center of the Milky Way, the sun travels at the astonishing speed of 270 kilometers per second. By its motion, the sun pulls the Earth and the whole solar system with it. The Earth on which we live, move, and have our being is more than just a mass of matter. It is without doubt a living organism, on whose epidermis we all live as simple parasites. In infinite space, Earth travels a path both complicated and difficult. Earth, dancing around the sun to the music of the spheres, travels at a dizzying velocity as it revolves around the center of this awe-inspiring galaxy in which we live. The Milky Way is, in fact, so gigantic that the sun, even though traveling at 270 kilometers per second, will take 220 million years to complete one revolution. The Milky Way is a living cosmic organism, a spiral body within which our solar system exists. All nebulae, including our Milky Way, have, as a matter of fact, the same fundamental design. There are three forces at work in all galaxies. The first is centripetal, the second is centrifugal, the third is neutral, serving as a point of support and equilibrium. The centrifugal force imparts movement in spiral form to a nebula in the same way that a whirlwind raises dust in a spiral manner. The Milky Way, with its 18 million suns and innumerable planets and moons, has its center of gravity in the central sun, Sirius. Ancient esoteric traditions affirm that the Transcendental Church exists in the central sun, Sirius. Inside the temple of Sirius, adepts have the pleasure of meeting the disciples of the god Sirius. When any adept tries to go beyond the Milky Way, he is always obliged to return to Sirius. Adepts of Earth are prohibited from going beyond Sirius. Astronomers know very well that, beyond the Milky Way, there are only 3 galaxies visible to the naked eye. 2 of these, the Large and Small Magellan Clouds, named in honor of the celebrated explorer, can be seen from the southern hemisphere. When the adepts of the Great White Lodge go beyond Sirius, they can see 2 world systems, which sparkle marvelously with a beautiful rose color, in those 2 galaxies. There exist other types of cosmic laws, unknown to the inhabitants of the Milky Way. There is a maxim in the sacred texts of occult wisdom, where the light shines clearest, there also the darkness is densest. In the superior worlds, adepts can usually verify that. Together with a temple of light, there is a contrasting temple of frightening darkness. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 5. Based on this rule, we can be sure, without any fear of error, that the central sun, Sirius, is double. Its companion is a gigantic, tenebrous world. The cosmic forces which rule the superior dimensions come to Earth from Sirius, nicknamed the Dog Star by astronomers. However, from its tenebrous companion, nicknamed Pup, we receive the forces which govern the infernos. Our galaxy is gigantic, marvelous, and formidable. It is about 100,000 light-years in diameter and about 10,000 light-years thick. The sun which warms us and gives us life, our beloved sun, source of all life, is located approximately 30,000 light-years from the center, i.e., 2/3 of the distance from the center of the galaxy to the perimeter. It appears to be near the interior ring of a spiral arm, near a group of very weak and distant stars, and near another group, which is closer to the center. There exist millions of galaxies in infinite space, an estimated 2 billion in an area of 250 million light-years, an astonishing distance with no sign of an end. The situation of our solar system is, without any doubt or exaggeration, analogous to that of a blood cell within the human body. We can verify under a microscope that a white blood cell is also composed of a nucleus or sun, and its cytoplasm, or sphere of influence. It is also surrounded on all sides by millions of similar cells or systems. Together, all these cells form the whole, a great being, whose nature is surely inconceivable to an individual cell. The Milky Way is a living organism, which was born of water and fire in the ninth sphere. Those who suppose that the galaxies, including the Milky Way, had their origin in an explosion of some primitive atom are mistaken. There is an esoteric maxim which says, as above, so below. If the small microcosmic galaxy called man had its origin in the ninth sphere, in sex, we can deduce logically, without fear of deception, that we must look for the origin of our galaxies and all other galaxies in the ninth sphere, in sex. The Temple of Wisdom is found in the ninth sphere. The Temple of Wisdom is to be found in the phallus and the uterus. It is impossible to experience the truth concerning the origin of the galaxies if we do not enter the ninth sphere, sex. The word fertilizes the waters of chaos in a sexual marriage at the dawn of life. Thus are galaxies and worlds born. The sexual fire of Kundalini always fertilizes the womb of the Great Mother. In the beginning was the Word. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 6. Chapter 3. The Aura Solar System. In Nirvana, the sense of family, tribe, and clan disappears because all beings consider themselves as members of one great family. Variety is unity. After a lot of observation and experience, however, all of his brothers and sisters have verified the existence of something similar to a family in each group of the Elohim or Prajapatis who govern the various solar systems of our galaxy. It is the sense of cosmic association within each group of Elohim that makes them like ineffable, divine, sublime families. The cosmic family, which governs the Aura solar system, in which we live, move, and have our being, counts among its members the distinguished Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Michael, Samael, Zachariel, and Orifiel. Each of these brothers is a chief of angelic legions. Each brother has to work intensively in the Father's great work. Gabriel is regent of the moon, Raphael is the regent of Mercury, Uriel governs Venus, Michael is king of the sun, Samael is regent of Mars, Zachariel is rector of Jupiter. Orifiel rules the destiny of Saturn, ancient sage of the heavens. In the center of each sphere or planet is found the cosmic or planetary temple, the dwelling place of the genie regent. Any master of the White Lodge can visit the heart temple of the planet Earth in his astral body. The genie of Earth is the same Melchizedek spoken of in the Bible, Changam, king of the world. We have been told that the genie of Earth has a physical body similar to ours, but eternal, immortal. Some Tibetan lamas have had the great joy of knowing Changam personally. Earth's genie lives in Agartha, a subterranean kingdom, with the surviving initiates of Lemuria and Atlantis. The population of Agartha is waiting for the degenerate Aryan race, Earth's current race, to perish by fire. When all the perverse ones of this race have perished, then they, the survivors of Lemuria and Atlantis, will repopulate Earth. They will mix with a few select survivors of our present Aryan race, and create the future sixth race. Lemurians and Atlanteans, with their original physical bodies, exist in the interior of the Earth. These races possess all the inventions of the atomic science of ancient times. The king of the world works intensively, helped by the chorus, those great beings who govern life and death on all planes of cosmic consciousness. Earth is a living organism, revolving around the sun, maintained firmly on its path by the planetary genie. Earth is a member of the great cosmic family of the Ours solar system. All the sidereal bodies closed to Earth and governed by Melchizedek, king of fire, form part of this complex family. The Ours solar system includes within its sphere of influence a great variety of bodies, 9 planets, governed by ineffable beings, 31 known satellites, thousands of asteroids, comets, and many millions of meteoric particles, all traveling around the sun. Despite the number of, and the enormous cosmic mass of all these bodies, an incredible 99% of the matter of the Ours solar system is concentrated in the sun. In reality, the Solar King is the heart of the solar system. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 7. The 7 Chohans, who direct the 7 great cosmic rays, live and work in the sun's heart temple, which is located in the center of that radiant sphere. Few human beings from Earth can visit the heart temple of the sun in their astral body. A tremendous and frightening precipice leads the initiate toward the threshold of wisdom. Everyone who arrives at the sacred threshold must prostrate reverently in front of the guardian of the temple. A narrow path leads the visitor towards the heart temple, where the 7 mighty Chohans dwell. All the life of the Ours solar system is centered in the heart of the sun, whose gravitational force keeps the whole solar family in their mechanical orbits. The machinery of the Ours solar system operates according to the great law. The orbits of the planets, which dance around the sun in rhythm with the great symphonies of the cosmic diapason, are wisely organized according to Bode's law. By taking the geometric progression 0, 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, 96, 192, and adding 4 to each number, we obtain a series, which represents the approximate distances separating the planetary orbits and the sun. Mercury, lord of science, messenger of the gods, travels around the sun at a dizzying speed. Venus, star of music, love, and beauty, second planet from the sun, moves a little more slowly. Earth, our poor, afflicted, and martyred Earth, in third place, moves even more slowly under the wise direction of Changam, Melchizedek. Our beloved Ours solar system has the solar system Baleo-Odo as its neighbor. Occasionally, the famous comet Solna approaches dangerously near to the shining sun. Baleo-Odo, to firmly maintain its usual cosmic path, Baleo-Odo generates a very strong electrical force. This tension naturally and logically produces an identical tension in all neighboring suns, including our sun, Ours. This is the law of Solaiwanchus, and it affects not only all the suns, but also their respective planets. Earth is no exception to this law of Solaiwanchus. This powerful electrical force provokes bloody revolutions and awful catastrophes. The law of Solaiwanchus manifested twice in the ancient Egypt of the pharaohs. The first time, in a bloody revolution, the people elected new rulers by means of blood and death. They removed the eyes of all the outgoing rulers. In the second manifestation of this cosmic law, the Egyptian people, enraged, rose up against their rulers and killed them. Each one was tied up with a sacred rope and thrown into the Nile. That rope looked like a gigantic, macabre necklace. The Bolshevik Revolution was also a result of Solaiwanchus. Each manifestation of the law of Samael Aun Weor has resulted in great social catastrophes. Knowledgeable men take advantage of the law of Samael Aun Weor to enter the path of inner self-realization. The Earth's solar system, seen from afar, appears as a man across the unchangeable infinite. Astronomers assure us that our solar system is moving towards the star Vega at 20 kilometers per second. In fact, the Sun, followed by the brilliant radiation of its own system, advances victoriously in sacred space. It moves 50 billion kilometers in 80 years. In 80 years, the sphere of radiation, the band of fire, the long and radiant body of our solar system appears as a figure 5 times longer than it is wide and as beautifully proportioned as the upright human body. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 8. All the movements of the planets are governed by the attraction exerted on them by the Sun. When the different planets move closer to the Sun, their velocity increases so they can energetically counteract the tremendous force of solar action. The planets which constitute our cosmic solar family range in size from the smallest, swift Mercury, messenger of the gods, which is closer to the center, to the mighty, thunderous Jupiter, father of the gods, which is halfway between the center and the circumference, and finally, to Pluto, the furthest known planet, a little bigger than swift Mercury. Many years of observation and experience have verified that the further away from the Sun a planet is, the slower its velocity around the Christ Sun. Indeed, the velocity of the planets diminishes from 50 kilometers per second for Mercury to 5 kilometers per second for Neptune, the lord of occult wisdom, the king of the sea. The axis of the Earth's solar system, which is our Sun, revolves monthly around an interstellar magnetic center or cosmic chakra. Swift Mercury, the celestial messenger, completes its revolution around the solar king in 3 months. Venus accomplishes its dance around the Sun in 8 months, and the Earth's journey lasts 12 months. The marvelous dance of Neptune, king of the sea, takes 164 years. The cosmic face of the Earth's solar system is extraordinarily complex and beautiful, the planetary bodies, appearing as multiple spirals of various tensions and diameters, resemble a series of radiant divine layers which darken the white-hot long filament of the Sun of Ors. Each spiral radiates splendidly with its own heat and brightness. This marvelous combined group is a mysterious, sublime network like a spider web. This web is magnificently woven by the multiple eccentric trajectories of thousands of asteroids and long-tailed comets. They shine with their fiery breath and ring with an incredible, subtle, and harmonious music based completely on those 3 beats of Mohavan and Chotaban, which keep the universe firmly on its march. In reality, the Aura solar system is a living cosmic creature, who was born many millions of years ago in the 9th sphere, sex. All men are similar in design and constitution, just as all the sons of infinite space are similar. That which distinguishes one man from another is his level of consciousness, just as what distinguishes one sun from another is its level of radiation. Light and consciousness are ultimately the same phenomenon. Light and consciousness obey the same laws, growing or diminishing in exactly the same way. In chaos, in the universal sperm, we find the cosmic design of humanity and of the suns. The self-development of the cosmic man or the solar system, that is, their illumination and gradual irradiation, is the level of self-generated consciousness of the particular solar system or particular cosmic man, a level which is totally dependent on that individual being. So that a man may be fully conscious of himself, all his aspects must become fully conscious. In order that a sun may be fully radiant, all of its planets, its cosmic organs, must be fully radiant. The task of the whole universe and of all beings, from the gigantic sun down to the insignificant cell, is to awaken consciousness. The Aura solar system will become increasingly radiant as each of its worlds, each person, and each living cell becomes more conscious. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 9. The consciousness of all human beings on planet Earth as he sleep. It is impossible to experience that which is the truth while one's consciousness is totally asleep. 4 states of consciousness exist: dreaming during the waking state, dreaming while the physical body is asleep, self-consciousness, awakened objective consciousness. Normally, people live in the first 2 states of consciousness. People not only dream when they sleep, but also in the so-called waking state. It is very rare to find a conscious human being, yet people firmly believe they already have an awakened consciousness. It is impossible to have objective knowledge as long as we have not attained self-consciousness. People dream while they live and work, nevertheless, they mistakenly believe they are awake. During the normal dream state of the physical body, the ego, enveloped in its body of desires, sleepwalks through the molecular region, dreaming. On returning to the physical body and then to the waking state, the individual continues his dreams. Whoever awakens consciousness no longer dreams but awakens in the internal worlds, while the physical body sleeps. Your solar system will become more and more radiant as people increasingly awaken consciousness. Your solar system is Adam Kadmon, the celestial man, born of water and fire in the 9th sphere, sex. Your solar system, the cosmic man, must be totally self-awakened in every cell and in every man in order to become increasingly radiant. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 10. Chapter 4. Atomic Science. Your solar system in which we live is essentially a great molecule, which develops and unfolds within the vibrant organism, that spiral we call the Milky Way. The various scientific conceptions about atoms are only provisional. The splitting of the atom in no way signifies absolute knowledge about the structure of the atom or about the complete inner mechanism of molecules, subatomic particles, and electrons. The Saturnine conception of atomic structure is very empirical. All scientific or super-scientific opinion becomes too relative and unstable. We who are Gnostics emphatically affirm that, in addition to protons, electrons, neutrons, etc., there exist many other particles not yet known to conventional science. Within the atomic nucleus, there is a formidable structure, still totally unknown to conventional science. Scientists have indeed split the atom and liberated nuclear energy, but actually, they do not know anything about the intracorpuscular structure of the electron. In the light of the new culture initiated in the world by the Gnostic movement, we may consider the electron as a primordial crystallization of that which the Hindus call akasha, the raw material of the great work, the unique substance from which come, through linked crystallizations, all multiple substances, or the various elements of nature. The electron is undoubtedly an extraordinary primordial crystallization of a supraatomic character. Every atom and every electron has its origin in the living womb of the pure akasha, the primordial substance, the Malaprakaita of the Hindus, the chaos, the universal seminal waters of Genesis, the eternal feminine symbolized by all feminine deities of ancient religions, the Great Mother, Isis, Isilberta, Rhea, Cybele, Vesta, Marie, Tonantson, etc. This primordial substance, the akasha, this raw material of the great work, is without doubt the Divine Mother, Isis, the adorable Virgin of all ancient religions, always full of grace. The Father, the first Logos, deposited in her all the essence of his wisdom. The Son, the second Logos, deposited in her all the essence of his love. The Holy Spirit, the third Logos, deposited in her all the essence of his igneous power. Actually, there exists only one basic substance in the universe, which when crystallized is called matter, when not crystallized, when in its fundamental state, it is called the universal spirit of life. She begins her process of condensation or crystallization when the third logos, by means of this sexual marriage of the word, fecundates her with the flaming fire. She remains in her insipid, unsubstantial, and inodorous state during the cosmic night, during the great pralaya, when the universe, which has existed, ceases to exist. After the fire has fertilized her, the cosmic Christ, the second logos, penetrates her belly, the great belly, and is born of her and in her in order to be crucified in the worlds. This is why she is always represented with a child in her arms, as Isis with the child horns in her arms, or as Mary with her golden child in her arms. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 11. In the fertile belly of the Great Mother, under the impulse of the third logos, many force fields are created, in which the waves of what we call prematter condense into corpuscles. Modern scientists have no precise knowledge about the mystery of the atomic nucleus, which they think is composed of protons and neutrons. They know nothing about the nuclear forces. All planetary material is scientifically formed by marvelous atoms. Undoubtedly, these are the smallest particles of the elements. Every atom is a true universe in miniature. Every atom is a trio of matter, energy, and consciousness. The atom consists of a nucleus, or radiant sun, which has a positive electrical charge, and around which infinitesimal planetary electrons, negatively charged, and dancing happily, revolve. The atomic nucleus and the electron are similar in all substances. The elements differ only in the number of electrons governed by the nucleus, and by the corresponding variation of its charge. The atom is a complete miniature solar system. What the sun is to the solar system, and what the fertilized egg is to the human body, is exactly what the atomic nucleus is with respect to the whole atomic universe. It is said that the diameter of the atomic nucleus is approximately 1/10 of 1,000th of the whole atom, and just as the diameter of an electron of the atom may be 1/10 of the diameter of its nucleus, and in their own scale, they are revolving in an immensity of space as gigantic and profound as that comprised by the planet Earth and all the planets of the Earth's solar system. Nature has many elements, which are now catalogued from 1 to 96 according to the number of electrons. Hydrogen with 1 electron has the atomic number 1, helium has 2 electrons, and has the atomic number 2, etc. Indeed, only the elements developed in the belly of the Great Mother become different crystallizations of the primordial substance. This has 2 exceptions. In nature, there are 7 fundamental categories of density among the various elements. Each element is attracted sexually by one that possesses the complementary number of electrons. For example, sodium, with 1 surplus electron, is attracted sexually to chlorine, which lacks 1, and together they form salt. Here we have sex, the male and female of the elements of nature uniting sexually. The positive metal is irresistibly drawn to combine sexually with the negative non-metal in exact proportion to its opposite. This is an extraordinary Platonic parallel to the search by twin souls for their complementary half, after being separated at the dawn of creation. The active element in the Christ Son is an infinite quantity of hydrogen, whose atom possesses only 1 electron revolving around its nucleus. The hydrogen atom is on the border between matter in a molecular state and matter in an electronic state. The next, increasingly subtle, state of hydrogen corresponds to free electrons, light, magnetic waves, and the spiritual state. In order to create an atom of helium and 2 rays of the sun, it is necessary to consume 4 hydrogen atoms. The sexual energy of the third logos flows pervasively from the center of every atom, galaxy, and solar system, uniting opposite poles to produce new creations. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 12. Hydrogen atoms and carbon atoms complement each other to initiate the development of light. The masculine hydrogen atoms with only one electron bombard the feminine carbon atoms with 6 electrons, creating nitrogen atoms with 7 electrons. The nitrogen atoms and new hydrogen atoms unite sexually, and are transformed into light oxygen atoms. When there is abundance of light oxygen atoms, a free electron escapes, and with it, a certain quantity of radiant energy. Afterwards, the resulting heavy nitrogen atom is bombarded sexually once again by hydrogen. This time, however, the results differ. The hydrogen atom captures a nitrogen electron to form a helium atom with 2 electrons. The nitrogen atom of 7 electrons is reduced to a carbon atom with 6 electrons. This is the situation with which we began. Because the end is the same as the beginning, plus the experience of the cycle, this is the law. In this way, the sexual cycle of carbon ends. The solar light is sexually created in the 9th sphere. Sex, the great solar light, is the chemical and mathematical result of the various sexual atomic processes of carbon. The hydrogen atoms constitute a bridge between the universal spirit of life and matter of various densities. The combination of hydrogen atoms with atoms of various substances already existing on Earth gives rise to all known forms of life. The splitting of the atom in nuclear explosions frees submerged abysmal matter as well as new and terribly malicious atomic elements: neptunium-93, plutonium-94, americium-95, and curium-96. These terribly malicious infernal substances escape from the abyss when there are atomic explosions, and they attract certain frightful and monstrous psychological characteristics to the Earth's surface, and to the minds of people. The splitting of the atom is a blasphemy, a scientific madness that not only brings physical damage to this afflicted world, but also psychic and mental monstrosities, horrible abominations of an infernal type. If human beings would study solar energy and learn to use it intelligently, liquid fuel would be eliminated, and the conquest of space would be possible, given the right conduct of humanity. A place reached by a ray of light is a place that can be reached by man. Solar energy is millions of times more powerful than atomic energy. The great molecule, your solar system, functions marvelously, thanks to the great power of solar energy. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 13. Chapter 5. The Ninth Sphere. Earth is a marvelous organism full of intense cosmic vitality. On the Earth's surface, there exist formidable rocks, sand, and soil where the gnomes reside. The interior of the planetary organism is unknown to academic science. Indeed, scientists know very little about the interior of our globe. It is said that its temperature rises in direct proportion to the distance from the surface. The waves produced by earthquakes, when moving deep underground, travel as other waves do in a liquid element, but when moving closer to the surface, they travel as other waves do when moving through a solid. The Earth's mantle appears to be a crust 50 to 60 kilometers thick. On this marvelous crust, we find minerals, soil, sand, and water. Below this crust, on which the history of humanity has unfolded, there exists another layer, 3,500 meters thick, which is composed of magnesium, oxygen, and silicon combined to make another kind of solid rock. Scientists know nothing at this time about the core of the Earth. They only guess that its density and temperature are very high, and that it has a diameter of approximately 6,940 kilometers. From the esoteric point of view, Earth has 9 layers, and the symbol of infinity is found in the 9th layer. It is necessary to know that the sacred symbol of infinity is found in the heart of the Earth, in its living nucleus, and has the form of an 8 in a horizontal position. In the Holy Eight, the symbol of the infinite, we find, symbolically, the brain, heart, and sex of the genie of Earth. The two opposing circles of the Holy Eight represent the brain and the sex. The center is the symbolic seat of the heart. The battle is tremendous: brain against sex, sex against brain, and even more bitter, heart against heart. The structure of all organized beings on this planet Earth is in accordance with this symbol. In the center of the Holy Eight, there exists a central atom to which gravitate the 12 spheres of cosmic vibration, within which a solar humanity must develop. The fetus remains 9 months in the maternal womb, and 9 ages are necessary for the birth of planetary humanity. The 9th sphere is sex. In the 9th sphere, we find fire and water, the origin of the worlds, beasts, men, and gods. All authentic white initiation begins there. The 9th sphere is the fiery forge of Vulcan. Mars descends there to retemper his sword and conquer the heart of Venus. It is there that Hercules cleans the stables of Augeas. It is there that Perseus cuts off the head of the Medusa with his flaming sword. Since ancient times, descent to the 9th sphere has been the greatest test of the supreme integrity of the Hierophant, including Buddha, Hermes, Jesus, Krishna, Dante, Zoroaster, Quetzalcoatl, Muhammad, Moses, etc. The symbol of infinity is an esoteric symbol that can only be known through esotericism. Great initiates say that the symbol is made of pure gold, and is found in the exact center of Earth in the 9th sphere. In reality, within our living Earth there exist great splendors and dense darkness. We must comprehend the 3 aspects of Earth's interior. Buddha's necklace. Samael Aun Weor. 14.